Good morning, Yetis. It's Mr. Smith. Hey, we are going to talk about Fridays at Snowy Peaks. I'm going to give you a little more information on experiential learning, which our students have been participating in, but mainly I'm going to focus on our win periods or our what I need periods. This Friday will be our first win period and opportunity for our students for the school year. So let's talk about what that means. Okay, so whenever you see our bell schedule here, you'll see this big block of time on Friday afternoons, and you'll see that it alternates. One week we'll have what I need period, and then the next week we have experiential learning. So, what that means on this, whoa, that's a typo. That should say Friday schedule. Obviously, I'm using an old altered slideshow. So, for Fridays, when you see here, these are our bell schedule. Periods 1 through 4 are going to run in the morning. So all students will have class in the morning. Then we have our legendary unplugged period. We have lunch. And then down here, you'll see that there are alternating weeks between experiential learning and what I need periods. So in experiential learning, those are our opportunities to dive deeply into our other cornerstones other than academics, such as character development, community service, and engagement with nature. Just as a reminder, we've told this to our students. We are not permitting independent experiential learning activities. That was something we did during COVID because we wanted to reduce the number of contacts that were going on in any given week. And so we allowed our 11th and 12th graders to do independent experiential ed learning activities. Now, I know this might come as a shock to some of you, but when we dismissed our upper level students to go out and do their experiential learning opportunities, they didn't always go do them. And so when we hit graduation and we audited their experiential learning hours, there were some tears because, some students fell significantly short of the expectation and then had to play catch up at the 11th hour to graduate. So we are eliminating that issue by saying, you know what, we're offering these opportunities every other week and we want all students to participate. And then if you see here from 12:25 to 3 o'clock on the other weeks, we have our what I need period, and that's a win period. So I'll talk about more what that looks like. So, why would we run these win periods and devote this chunk of time to this? Because really what it is a small group tutoring style targeted support for academics during that period. And so what we want to have happen is that all of our students have a 2.5 or better in all of their classes, that students have a predetermined time in their schedule where we know that they can work directly with teachers to get their grades up and to produce high quality work. At Snowy Peaks, we don't really do homework. We have such small classes that we're able to produce a lot of work during the school day. But we know that when students are absent or if they do fall behind or if they need more time on an assignment, we want to make sure that we give that time within our school day so we're not sending students home with hours of homework. We really believe home time is family time. Okay, so that students know that they can receive help when they need it and they take ownership for their own success, that they'll have access to the teachers. Lots of times teachers' days get really busy and kind of crazy, and they know during that time they have access to their teachers. And we would never want our families to go out and spend a bunch of money on tutoring, right? We know that local tutors charge up to, around $80 an hour. Boy, 2 hours of tutoring a week is $160 an hour, and that gets pricey real fast. So we are providing that for you for free on Friday afternoons every other week. So we also know that there's a life skill embedded in this. We want our students to learn the skill of knowing what they need to do, when they need to do it, and how to produce high quality work. We know that in American culture, producing high quality work in a timely manner is the gauge of success. And any student who leaves some Snowy Peaks and Summit School District and walks into a job and can produce high quality work in a timely manner is going to be significantly, ahead of peers who can't. So we are going to use a coding system, and we code our students. It's similar to a stoplight. We code our students on when weeks they are either green, yellow, or red. And that's what we send out to our parents because we want it to be bite-sized and concise and easy for a parent to be like, okay, you're doing great. You're in the green. All right, you're in the yellow. We got to slow down a little bit. and we're in the red, we need to stop and focus on the issues. So a student is in the green, and this is a little new this year. We've added a few definitions to green. A student is in the green if all of their classes are a 2.5 or better. No incompletes. All right. And so the grades read 2.5 or better, that the student has produced positive behaviors in classes and they've received no problem solving contracts. Just as a reminder, 3 tardies this year equals a problem solving contract. And so if a student has received a problem solving contract, they will need to attend win period, and that they maintain great attendance, 90% or better attendance. And honestly, when students miss school, their grades likely fall into an incomplete or below a 2.5 because they haven't been here. All right. So yellow, and coding a student yellow means we just need to slow down and pay attention to that one reason that a student is below the expectation. So it says here, if a student has a single class below a 2.5 or one problem solving contract or any attendance issues, they'll receive a yellow notification. They should speak to the teacher or the principal, if it's behavior, about what their plan is to get into the green. They must attend win time. This is mandatory. If students don't come, it is considered a cut class. And that we're going to be communicating student status of green, yellow, red during win weeks, and we'll inform students and parents via text and email. And then red is really where we just got to stop because we are off the track. And we need to get back on the track. So student would be considered coded red if they have any combination of grades below a 2.5, problem solving contracts, or poor attendance. All right. So any combination of those, for example, you might have one grade that's a 2.0, but also received a problem solving contract, that would be coded red. Students, again, must advocate for themselves by speaking to the teachers that they need the support in. They have to attend win time to get that support. And again, we'll be communicating that each win week via text and email. All right, so what happens when a student walks into win? During win period, it is mandatory for our yellow and red students. Missing win would be considered a level 2 behavior. And parents, please, we know that sometimes our students say, like, hey, mom, I'll do the work at home and I'll get caught up, but I want to work at home. Please do not allow that to happen. We ask that students work directly with their teachers. We know that that's going to be most beneficial for their learning. Their grade is down because they need support. Please send them to allow them to get that support. On the same token, students who are in the green, it is not required that they are here. It is not mandatory. And so if that's a great time for parents to call students out to handle life business, if they have a dentist appointment, if they need a haircut or family time, whatever it might be. But if students are in the green, we're incentivizing it, and that is applicable for all grades this year, that if they're in the green and we have a win period, they are permitted to have an early dismissal that day. All right, so students who are here are going to report to a teacher for that small group tutoring style experience that's going to focus on increasing their grades. They're going to keep working on their classes during that time until they're in the green. If a student has a problem-solving contract and that's the reason they're at win, we're likely going to be doing some restorative practices. And that's mostly likely going to be in the form of doing community service to give back to the community that their behavior has provided a problem to. So that's new this year. And then lastly, students who are in the green, they are always still welcome at school. And so students who are in the green and do come to win will have extension activities, and they're usually pretty fun. You know, Mr. Regner has taught cooking classes. We've done some ICAP activities. We've done some field trips where we go get stuff for our silent auction. So we'll offer extensions to students who are in the green and here at school. All right, so again, this Friday is the first win period. Hopefully that gives you a lot of information about what you need to know to be successful in this structure. If you have any questions whatsoever, the best way is to always text me on my cell phone, and I'll get back to you a lot faster. But if you need to email me, there it is, and feel free to call the school as well. Hope everybody's doing great, and thanks for taking care of yourselves, taking care of our Yetis, taking care of us. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.